Democrats say a blue wave is coming this November, but a new Fox News poll says not so fast. Democrats are holding an 8-point advantage over Republicans at the moment, which is just shy of the 10 points analysts believe Democrats will need to take the House. Joining us right now to talk more about that and a lot more is the former Speaker of the House and executive producer of the George Washington documentary, The First American, now available on Amazon Prime Video. Newt Gingrich, good to see you, sir. Thanks so much for being here.
It's great to be with you, and it's a pretty exciting time, frankly, between the Supreme Court, the trip to Europe, and the upcoming campaign. It
sure is. You say that the Republicans could still win big in November as a result of all of that.
Well, I think on the Senate side, the Democrats have made an enormous mistake because Senator Feinstein introduced an open borders bill, got every single Democrat to support it and co-sponsor it, and there's no state where there's more than 25% of the state that favors open borders. And so I think every Democrat who co-sponsored it is in danger of losing their seat just on that one core issue, because the Republican candidate can hold up, you know, this is the Feinstein bill, and here's where our senator co-sponsored it. And most states would defeat open borders by at least 3-1.
Newt, it's Dagen McDowell. And isn't it true, we look at the new Fox News poll, and the Democrats are up, I think it's 8 percentage points in a generic ballot. We could argue whether that's relevant or not, also up in terms of the enthusiasm gap. However, Republicans historically have greater turnout at the polls during midterm elections. So don't Democrats have a lot of ground to make up?
You know, there's a very funny YouTube video with Megyn Kelly, where she asked me 2 weeks out about the fact that Trump is supposedly 10 points behind in the polls, and I keep saying he's going to win. And I said, yeah, I said, look, there are two alternative universes. And she's total disbelief. She says, you think he's going to carry Pennsylvania? I said, well, in my universe, he carries Pennsylvania, and your universe, he loses. And she goes, you think he's going to carry Michigan? And I said, well, and then she gets to Wisconsin. My only point is this: campaigns matter. In Minnesota, for example, the Democrats are about to nominate Keith Ellison for Attorney General. Ellison is a radical. He may survive in Minneapolis. He is going to get wiped out in the rest of the state, and he may take the whole ticket down with him. And we're seeing this happen in state after state.
You know, I thought yesterday was a display of Democrats in disarray at the Peter Strzok hearing, frankly, Speaker, because we saw all those fireworks on both sides. One GOP official told Fox News that both parties lost yesterday. What was your takeaway of yesterday, where the Democrats kept trying to change the subject? Nadler from New York was talking about transcripts that he wanted. Somebody else is talking about something else. I mean, they really wanted to change the subject from abuse of power at the top of the FBI.
Look, if Republicans keep their nerve and just go back to the basics, as Ronald Reagan used to do, they're going to win big. Yesterday's story was really simple. The Democrats are desperate to block the American people from learning the truth. This is true in the House scandal involving the Pakistani IT person and some 40 Democratic members. It's true in terms of the Justice Department. It's true in terms of the Clinton scandals. And what I was watching yesterday was a very desperate Democratic Party doing everything it could to break up a hearing, because what Strzok said was crazy. I mean, you can't have an FBI agent who talks about defeating the president of the United States, which is what he did.
Yeah, and can you believe that actually one of them said he deserves the Purple Heart? Listen to this, Newt.
If I could give you a Purple Heart, I would. You deserve one. This has been an attack on you in a way to attack Mr. Mueller and the investigation that is to get at Russia collusion involved in our election.
You know, what every American has to do is look at yesterday's photos of the Democratic Party's deliberate disruption. Ask yourself, is this the America we want? Is this the kind of future we want? Where we don't get to the facts, we don't get to the correct information, we never learn what really happened because somebody's busy disrupting and being noisy and trying to intimidate everybody else. I think it actually further isolates the Democratic Party as the radical party, and we're seeing radical extremists defeat progressives in a really dramatic shift of the Democratic Party into the left.
And that is an insult to all military. That is an insult to all of the brave men and women who actually get the Purple Heart, like a Hank Greenberg who got the Purple Heart for landing on Bloody Omaha, or my grandfather or my uncle who landed on Bloody Omaha. I'm outraged by the Purple Heart. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Newt, I think...
That guy's from Tennessee. That guy's from a red... Again, clearly not from a red district. And by the way, in terms of the way that these individuals have talked about Trump supporters, don't forget Peter Strzok referred to them as ignorant hillbillies.
That's right.
Remember the stench at the Walmart in Southern Virginia? People will remember that in November.
He said, I could smell the Trump support at this Walmart I'm at, he tweeted.
You know what? It smells like victory. That's what it smells like.
It's called winning.
Well, I think the Democrats actually missed a real big opportunity here to take the higher ground that could have helped them in the midterms election if they held Peter Strzok accountable, right? If you saw them take him to task, talking about how he undermined the credibility of the FBI, that the Republicans wouldn't have been able to have an answer. They would have been caught off guard.
You would think this would be something both sides agree on. No, we don't want abuse of power in our democracy.
Of course, and that's why I want to get Newt's take on where does the FBI go from here? Because it seems like they've been completely undermined here. The American people know that he was lying through his teeth. He was just doing the typical CYA. So what is your take on how the FBI regains its credibility and what accountability can be had?
You know, I literally yesterday was walking down the street in Washington, and a woman stopped me, and she said, I am a 25-year veteran of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I love the Bureau. I love being an agent. She said, I am appalled by people like Peter Strzok. She said, I can't use the four-letter words I'd like to describe him, but I can't imagine how he got promoted. I mean, she was really embarrassed for the institution she loves and she respects. And frankly, we're now looking at a scandal in the U.S. House, which may have been as badly covered up by FBI agents in the Justice Department as what we're seeing happen with Peter Strzok. And there's a layer. I mean, thousands of agents work hard, are decent, have integrity, are committed. But there seems to have been this layer of political decision makers at the very top who are just plain corrupt. I mean, there's no other word for it. This was a corrupt process of people who were doing things that were totally wrong and who were undermining the very purpose of a Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if the voters, you know, vote that way in November, because it certainly looks really bad. Mr. Speaker, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Newt Gingrich joining us there.